Hi everyone, I'm Aga. I'm a compulsive eater. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day from GreySheet. I commit them to my sponsor. I don't eat in between no matter what, and God and abstinence are most important in my life today. And my abstinence date is the 7th February 2021. It's great to be here. Because I always run out of time when I start from the problem and then I have no time for solution. So today I decided to start from the back, from the end of my story. And if time allows, I can tell you a little bit how it all began. So I do believe that God gives me people in purpose and in a proper time. That's how I met an old timer in GreySheet who was doing all these magic things with his food, scale, cups, and spoons, and that's how the seed was sown. And 2 months later, I joined GreySheet. But please don't ask me about details around this situation because I have no idea what happened in my head, what I thought. It's a bit of fog around that moment. And the only thing I know, and I'm sure that it was God's intervention. And first 2 years were time of relapses, and they were daily, weekly, monthly, and my longest abstinence was 88 days, as far as I remember. And the fear of share after those magic 90 days was so big, and it was the same or similar to the moment when I was turning 18 and I thought that I can't meet people's expectations of me as an adult. And so I had the same feelings and thoughts around my first qualification that people will be expecting from me to be absent all the time, to be wise, to be to be responsible for my life, my decisions, my choices, and it was so scary. And why that happened? It simply I was and I still am a people pleaser. And a friend in fellowship who is here today um, said that I can't be abstinent as long as I put other people in front of me, and that I'm not the most important person in my life for myself. And another important person to me told me that I also can't be abstinent because my relationship with God is not right. So since then, I started working on both, putting boundaries between me and other people, and also becoming less dependent on them, but more dependent on God, and by getting closer to Him. So my abstinence started 3 years and 3 months ago, and from my point of view, it's nothing but but a miracle. And I can say that when people ask what I did differently, I can only say that it happened itself. I mean, my only action was doing this first right step of returning to fellowship after being away for 3 months and binging 24 hours. And I sometimes I don't understand why some people have to put lots of effort into getting and staying abstinent when I think I do nothing special. And or maybe it's the matter of my attitude, my thinking about things I do, because those baby steps I do every day, being loyal to the program, working the steps, and reading literature, or being a sponsor, those tiny things done every single day, step by step, maybe they've got that power to change my life. Who knows? And I sometimes I think they are like tiny drops of water. When water comes on the rock for a long time, it can be very strong and it can change that rock, make a hole in a hard rock, but it's only tiny drop of water. I thought so far that my marriage is my only long-term commitment, but my abstinence is another one, and I think I can compare my abstinence to relationship, which needs time, my heart, my patience, my effort, and I remembered the beginning. It was like chaos. It was very chaotic. All planning, shopping, preparing my food, and just the idea that I have to do this just for myself, thinking about myself, being good to myself is something, too much, overwhelming, really overwhelming to me. And I thought I'm not gonna to get used to it, never, never. But it happened, and it became a habit. And I could compare that to the beginning, to swimming when I was a non-swimmer. But with time being, I've learned to lie on the surface, but I will tell about that later on. And so how I see that, I had to, with all this chaotic stuff at the beginning, I had to just calm down, slow down, and live every single day like if it was my last day, and live hour by hour, not hurry it up. I've got time, I've got the whole future, and being patient with my abstinence is gives me satisfaction, and I can see the fruits of that effort I put into it. And I remember somebody shared very beautiful thing that I can, if I remember properly, I can today's recovery can't rely on yesterday abstinence. So I have to do this job every single day because resting on laurels means a disaster and getting back to binging and to my addiction. And I also have to remember that nobody but me is responsible for my abstinence. My sponsor is my supporter, works by me, supports me, but she doesn't give me abstinence. I have to do the whole job, but it's God who gives me abstinence, and this is the most precious gift I've ever received. And sometimes I think I don't deserve it. Yes, so how my day looks like. Well, the first thing I do when I wake up is I pray and meditate, and then I do quick reading. I post passages from things I read, and I share them in WhatsApp groups with other fellows. And when it's done, I write a gratitude list every day. I try to do this every day, but every time when I miss it or I delay it, it's like I'm really longing for it, and this is something I can't live without. Like I couldn't live without the air, like plant without the air, without water. And every evening when I write my meals for the following day, I make sure that I've got all the ingredients, and to avoid, late night shopping, I always have some thin veggies or proteins in my cupboard in the kitchen. And the next day in the morning, I prepare my breakfast and my lunch for that particular day, and then I go to work after breakfast, of course. Without breakfast, there's no day. And I've got recently two jobs, and I often do my shopping between jobs. But most of all, this is my husband's task, the grocery shopping, and I'm really glad for it because I eat a lot on GreySheet, and so he has to carry a lot. I'm not so strong. But today this eating is guilt-free, and I eat what GreySheet allows me to. I eat healthy and tasty and colorful and delicious meals. the most amazing I could ever imagine. And the biggest surprise to me is that I started eating things which I didn't like in the past, or which I never tried before. And I discover new tastes, and this is a really great experience.
5 minutes left, Aga.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Thanks. And this journey in recovery gives me lots of joy and happiness, and experiencing them instead of endless pain of addiction and trauma of around the food is the best thing that could happen to me. And all this stuff changed me for good, and changed me into a better version of myself, which I like and I love. And despite it's not always easy, I wouldn't change anything from my past, because those experiences from the past brought me to the place when I'm now here in this fellowship, when I met you, and when I started building friendships with people in fellowship. And as I said, it's not always easy, because I've got my feelings and emotions back, and since then I feel, I see, and I hear more than before. But with God at my side, nothing can destroy me, and I do believe in that. And it's not just theory; it's just my experience. Yes, and I used to control things in the past, but since I started surrendering them to God, everything has changed, and I've got less fear about the future. And experiences and events of the past were like people given to me for a purpose, and they were a blessing or a lesson. And it was difficult, the same like with my with food in the past. When I was happy, I was rewarding myself with food. When I did something wrong, I was punishing myself with food. When life hurt, I was numbing myself with food. But today I don't have to go back to that life, and I don't want to go back there. And in the moment when I surrender things to my higher power, when I bring them to the light, they become like a tiny insects instead of being monsters like in the past. They are not poisonous anymore. And all my I think that that past, my weaknesses as well, are not my enemies anymore, are rather my anchors, and they give me strength. They gave me strength which I can share with other people in fellowship, with my sponsees, everyday life with my family and friends. So today, I like we've got from AA, we've got those sentences, just for today. And just for today, I'm going to accept myself and live the best I can. And I used to describe my meals as lighthouses, but today I feel that my abstinent meals are moments when I can float on the surface during the storm, the surface of water, and I can either, get panic and flap my hands and definitely like swallow salty water and drown, or I can lie flat, calm down, and look around when I am, and move slowly my hands, my feet, and move towards the shore. So yes, my 3 meals are my lifeboat, my haven. And
1 minute, Aga.
thank you, Nancy. And obviously, I have no time for my past, the beginning, but it was the problem. We don't want to talk about the problem, about solution. So with that, I pass. That was my solution. Thank you.